Losing someone you love can be one of the hardest experiences of anyone's life, and it can be even more difficult when blame and forgiveness are involved. 30-year-old Johnny Jones III, known by his friends as Little June, was killed 6 years ago this upcoming January. For his father, Johnny Jones, the loss of his son is still fresh on his mind.
He was so wonderful in so many ways. He never looked back on his word. If he will give you something, he wouldn't talk about it. Because he would always say that it's a more blessing to give than to receive. He took care of all of his kids. He made sure they had food, clothes, whatever they needed. He supported that. He supported the mother. They had shelter. They didn't need for nothing. And he showed love. His love was exposed to everywhere he went. He showed love for people. I don't care what ethnicity, what color, what race. He showed it to everyone. And what happened, his girlfriend had called him. He was at home asleep. So his girlfriend was coming out of the store with some guys, kept threatening her, kept harassing her. So she called him. And when he came to the store, when he got out of the car and walked up, they started harassing my son. So in the event of them harassing my son, they exposed the weapon. So my son was in shock. The guy who exposed the weapon deliberately pulled the trigger and shot my son point blank. It pierced his heart. He died right there. When the EMT came, he was deceased right there. And Lord have mercy.
The suspects fled, and neither them nor the murder weapon were ever found. After hearing the devastating news, Jones hit a turning point in his faith.
This was January the 17th, 2015. I was home. I get a call at 11:15. They said that he'd just been shot. And my reaction, will he live? Where did the bullet hit him at? Will he survive? I'm in Santa Clarita, but he lived in Lancaster. I got in my car, and on the way going to Lancaster, my nephew called me and said, Lil June just passed away, and my heart dropped. I pulled over to the side of the freeway, and I prayed. I said, Lord, you knows best. But Lord, I'm angry though. I'm angry at you, Lord, because you could have saved my son. But I had to overcome that because it wasn't for me to say anything like that towards God, because God knew what he's doing. So I had to put myself in the right perspective, in the right mindset to continue to drive, because I was lost. I was hurting. I was crying. I was emotional. And knowing that my mind sometimes it goes back and forth. I should have got these guys. I should have got them. I should have went and got them like they did my son. But God put in me a pure heart. Because if I go man's route, I don't know where I'll be at. I may be dead or I may be incarcerated. Psalms 34:17, the righteous cry out, and the Lord hears them. He delivers them from all their troubles. So I went to that scripture and I asked God, deliver me from the retaliation of what I want to do. Bring me out of that realm of thinking and put me in a total different thinking capacity.
Not knowing who his son's killers were, he did something that took more strength than he'd ever given before, and forgave them.
We have to forgive because God has forgiven us. How often should we forgive? 7 times? No, it's not 7 times. It's 7 times, 7 times. We can't hold account like you hold the money in the bank. You can't do that. You got to forgive those that trespass against you. And The reason why I did that, because it's what God said. It's not what man said, it's what God said to put me in that perspective and put me in that realm to forgive those who trespass against me. The most that I've learned is how precious life is. You could be here today and gone tomorrow. This is why we got to continue to pray. But even though it still hurt, but I still have a God of mercy. I still have a God of grace and peace.
June Jones has left a legacy that keeps his friends and family pushing forward every day. And just like June showed love to everyone, his father is walking in his footsteps, loving and forgiving.
But I'll see him again. You know why I'll see him again? Because I'm going to continue to walk in the Spirit of God. I'll get there just like my son did, and I'll see him again. Thank God.